Megadeth have just released the first single on their final ever album. The single is called Tipping Point, and the album has been announced to be releasing on January 23rd. So that is the final date of the final official LP of Megadeth, provided that they don't pull a Motley Crue, which I think is unlikely. It's kind of an end of an era, though, for these guys. Christ, I mean, how many albums have they released now? 16. Okay, yes, this is album number 17. We call that a good innings. I mean, I know they've been going on for, well, it'll be, 41 years, I think it is, by the time they release this one. Still, what a career. I know that it's not the original lineup. In fact, there's been quite a lot of substituting in and out over the years, but still, I mean, Dave Mustaine just sticking it out the entire time. As far as I can tell, his voice is still pretty fantastic. I'm trying to think. So I have never been, really into Megadeth, but I've been around a lot of people who are. I kind of had my metal introduction, we could say, when I was sort of like 18, 19-ish. My housemate at the time, Fabio, who was a huge metalhead, and he introduced me to Megadeth largely because we also were going to a Download Festival that year, 2016, the year that everybody died. In fact, we were meant to see Motorhead that year, and poor Lemmy also died that year. And to bring that all together, I saw Dave Mustaine on stage present Triple H, the wrestler Triple H, with the Lemmy Award that year. So, I have seen Megadeth live. They were pretty great. I know all their big songs. I actually really like Symphony of Destruction. I know it's such a newbie one to say, but Symphony of Destruction is unironically awesome. Holy Wars, Tout Le Monde. I forgot about the Tout Le Monde. I love that song. Okay, I actually know more Megadeth than I thought I did. Tornado of Souls, I also know. Oh yes, Hangar 80. Okay, no, I take it back. I actually know slightly more Megadeth than I thought. I know it's still a drop in the ocean compared to the 17, soon to be 17, albums worth of content they have released over the years. But, I know some. I quite like it. I've got a couple of friends who are really into Megadeth. Shout out to Yukon. So, I am definitely interested to see this beginning of this new era. So I was having a quick look into the lineup at the moment, and this is the first, and I guess last, album that guitarist I'm never going to say that right, Teemu Mantisyari, I really hope I said that right. He joined in 2023 when the previous guitarist left. I think he just kind of wanted to be over with the sort of touring lifestyle, which I get. This guy is a Megadeth fan who was kind of grown up, and apparently he's very, very technically proficient. And so, God, I mean, what an amazing thing to do as a professional guitarist and a mega fan of Megadeth for he to be able to be the featured guitarist in their final album. What a moment. So that's pretty cool. And also, they're doing one final farewell tour in 2026. I guess it'll probably start maybe just before this album is released, and then they'll kind of run one cycle's worth of tours and then hang their hats up and be content with the massive impact you've had over the rock, not just rock, just the music community over the years. So anyway, with that all being said, let's jump in and listen to Tipping Point. First thing I'm going to notice before we even kick it off is it's only 4 minutes 44, which I think by kind of sort of heavy thrash metal-y Megadeth-y standards, not that long. Okay. I mean, straight out the gate, that is a very fitting. It feels very Megadeth-y as a riff, doesn't it? Maybe the tone is helping a lot, but you can tell this guy is writing a love letter to his favorite band. It's very chunky. It's got that urgency to it, and he looks like a cool dude based on this one screenshot I currently have of him. But I like his goatee. Okay. Ooh, okay. I can see what they were talking about with this, technical proficiency. He's just gone straight in there and said, "Hello, I'm new, watch this." Awesome. I love the level of urgency, the way the drums and the bass are able to kind of pick up this quite fast speed. Then you just get this jump in, and the riff stays there, but then you just get this really, really intense, shreddy guitar lead coming, which is lovely. And also, what is going on with this music video? Just where I paused it now, there's scary shadow faces in the corners and stuff, and somebody's got a pipe coming out of their heads. And I appreciate the level of theatricality that's going on so far. I'm glad they're not doing a kind of cop-out performance one, at least for this video. Oh, Dave. 17. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Yeah, really nice way to transition to that next section as well. You have that drop out for a second, and then just that really, really fast up-picked guitar riffs, just keeping that momentum for a second. The couple of offbeat hits of those drums are again really build up tension for the next section. It's just hyping up this energy that you know is about to come. And now we flipped into this much faster bit, which I imagine is about to have some vocals over the top of. That dude's wrists must hurt. Okay. His voice hasn't really aged, has it? Sometimes people who have especially quite a distinct high voice, they often, I know you can kind of feel their range pinching off a little bit, but he still sounds pretty kind of like spry in there. There's a lot of kind of like, it's very open and clean still, which is nice. Or clean by his standards. Obviously, it's a bit grit because it's a thrash metal song, but yeah. Smashed in your sleep in the blackest night. Nice. You buried the truth under layers of lies. There's no return. Now you crossed the line. God damn, it's just hearing all of those drums beautifully panned across either side. The tom roll that went round the world and back again. That's so nice. Just so many nice little moments of flexing. No one's kind of like overgoing on each other. It's all very well like restrained, even though it doesn't sound restrained, but you know what I mean? Not everyone's feeling all the time, but every little moment that there's an opportunity to, someone is absolutely demonstrating just how great they are. Push me, I push you back. Nice. Now the little rhythmic shake up there, we've gone from the very, very chunky to having a slightly more offbeat rhythm for this B section, or maybe it's the beginning of the chorus, I'm not sure. But I also love how kind of theatrical his voice has remained, how much of the part he's not only playing, getting like guts and shit dribbled all over him, but he's also singing with this, I really don't know what I was going for with that. He's trying to be dramatic is what I was trying to say, God. God damn. What I really appreciate is the way that this is kind of like structured and formatted. It almost feels like, this is going to sound like a silly comparison, but like a throwback to old school blues where, you know, everyone kind of passes it around. The singer is an equal member of the band as everyone else. So they get their little solo section, their vocals. They kind of pass it back and forth. Everyone takes a turn to really, really show how great they are. It's great. And also I like the setting. It's a cool old abandoned prison. I'm gonna have to look up where this is filmed later because it's a really awesome location. It's filmed really well. Like, they definitely didn't pull punches when it comes to budget. I like all the weird, like, I wasn't expecting them to lean into the sort of like more horror-y aspects of it, but I'm here for it. No. Man, I can't get over those drum pans. Every time the big drum fill comes in, it just swoops around in the way it's produced as well. Like, the production of this entire thing is pretty tight. I would say one critique is I think maybe the vocals are like a little bit too quiet, maybe? I know that, again, I said that they're like not meant to sort of sit too far ahead of everyone else, but I feel like it gets swallowed a little bit with how like gung-ho everything else is. Yeah, I like that bit a lot. Oh my god. I think it's just like more distressing watching it happen to Dave Mustaine. I don't know why. I mean, how old is he now? He can't be a spring chicken anymore, right? 64, yeah. I mean, 64 is still comparatively young, and actually I kind of respect them for going for a retirement tour before they get too old to enjoy their retirement. But still, leave him alone. He's like old enough, you shouldn't be pushing needles in his eyes. Ooh, I like the sort of melody going on in this solo. Sorry, it's just the little like going on. That's so funny. How do they do that with a straight face? Oh god. I was gonna say I also really like the sort of like melodic change and shift in this guitar solo. It's a bit more like almost singy, is what I'm trying to say. Like it's he's playing more melodically. It's, at least to start with, it's kind of like slightly more melancholic, maybe. Yeah, and it's going into halftime now. It's slowed down. So much tapping. Ooh, okay. Yeah, perfect payoff for that as well. The way that again, everything kind of like built to this escalation, then kind of rolls its way down, and then everything goes into this next section. It's half times again, and now you've got a kind of, again, a more narrative, more kind of like talkative, storytelling section to like really pad it out. It's kind of interesting that this almost serves the function of a solo in a normal song, where it's the big change of pace. It's the sort of B section. Man. I will say they have... Oh, what a place to pause it. I will say they have, like, not spared any expense on the visual effects for the most part. I mean, it's cleverly filmed. There's all sorts of tricks you can pull to make this stuff easier to make look nice, right? Having an overall kind of like greenish grey filter over everything, it's a bit washed out, definitely helps. And also it's just all very dark, right? Which again helps. But even still, the visual effects are like good. Like this, it looks like a quite clever blend of practical effects mixed with CGI, which I really, yeah, it's good. I love the attention to detail on this. I love how gory it is. God damn. There we go. Nice. Such a nice way to transition out of that. Come to almost full stop with those. Offbeat. Simple taps. Nice. And here's like the more kind of like anthemic chorusy bit. There's not much else going on other than these vocals, that lead line that's being mirrored. I actually don't think it's being mirrored in harmonies. I think it's just two versions of it being played. Maybe one's just kind of like echoing it in the pan, perhaps. Whilst almost everything else falls into it like a chunky cha-cha-cha-cha-cha to really let that kind of anthemic choral part stick out. It's the kind of thing I can imagine the audience chanting to is towards the end of it, after you've kind of come out of these really epic solos, and then this kind of like breakdown part. Here's the bit where everyone goes, yeah, again. It's very tight. This whole section is really tight. The production is very clean on it as well. That's the ninjas in the background, man. Oh, what an outro. Okay. Hey, and he gets blown up. I like that outro a lot. I was gonna say, I think that maybe that last chorus section, whilst I liked it, possibly lasted a little bit too long. Maybe one too many repeats on that. Because there really wasn't a lot of variation coming in outside of that. It was just that, again, with that, not even really much in the way of fills or development, which is fine. I just think maybe one too many times, but I did like the very quick, like, exit, at the end. You kind of get this, like, moment of revenge, almost, for this kind of, like, suited up character that's been torturing Dave Mustaine for the entire video, kind of just gets his head exploded, and then Dave gets to walk out of this prison, I guess is maybe, this kind of mental prison, and he's at his tipping point, and I can see whether it's kind of like lyrically syncing all up. I guess the things that have been torturing in there are maybe his inner thoughts, but I love the way that that's all kind of displayed. I love the way that it kind of took on this really nasty visual, like, horror aesthetic. I like the video a lot. I thought that was really well done. I love how kind of game everyone is for going through this crazy stuff still, and I think that these guys are absolutely still, well, they're going out on a high if the rest of the album's like this. What I will do is probably play this to my friend Connor, who is like obsessed with Megadeth, because I'd really love to hear what a full-time fan's take on this is, because obviously I have been in and out of knowing the odd Megadeth song for a long time, but I wouldn't consider myself like a proper fan, to be honest. So, like, in the comments, big fans of Megadeth, let me know, because to me this really feels like they've still got everything about them that I liked in the first place, and it's really nice to see them going out on a high, going out on their own terms. You don't want to see them have this kind of like strange limbo of, like, kind of like getting worse, and blah, blah, blah. You end up, with sort of like Axl Rose kind of levels where people kind of, it's a little bit embarrassing to see them kind of still on stage at this point. So I think right out on a high, one last tour, one last hurrah. This is a great start. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, I guess. Like, share, subscribe, all of that crazy stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.